students, so in this video I'm going to remind you the concept of cell cycle and cell division, and then I'm going to talk about the MC questions, okay, in chapter 11. So for this picture, remember the keywords nucleus, chromosome, gene, and DNA, okay, especially DNA, gene, and chromosome. You need to okay, try to link these three words together within one statement. Gene, okay, gene is a short length of DNA in the chromosome, okay, so remember the key concept. So after that, okay, so let's talk about the chromosome and chromatin, okay. So for the chromosome, because the cell is not yet dividing, so the chromosome is in a very diffuse condition. And for the chromosome, because the cell is about to divide, but when is the cell is about to divide, so it should be the latest stage of the interphase, okay. The DNA, the chromatin become very condensed to become chromosome, okay. And that's the picture. And remember that in the exercise or in the exam paper, okay, what we are going to take a look and read is the micrograph, okay, of the DNA, okay, or the cells, okay. So that's why, okay, you need to be able to recognize the chromatin and the chromosome, okay, and remember how to describe, okay, the chromatin and chromosome, okay. So for the chromatin, a mass of diffuse long and thin fibers, okay, and after that, okay, when the cell is going to divide, is about to divide, so the chromatin will condense to form chromosome, or to coil up tightly to form chromosome. So the chromosome, it will from long to become short, okay, thin to become thicker, okay. So remember which kind of word, okay, you need to use to describe the chromatin and the chromosomes. After that, remember this little girl, okay, so her hair, okay, very long, okay, so that's the chromatin. But with the coil, okay, is the protein, okay, so the DNA plus the protein, okay, and then coil up tightly, it will become chromosome, okay. So remember this metaphor. And for the chromosome and the chromatis, okay, so remember this structure is chromosome, this cross is also chromosome, but the point is that for the upper part, this part, okay, what we call is chromatate, and this part is also chromatate, okay. So you can refer to the book. So the whole cross is chromosome, okay, and the left part is chromatate. This part is also chromatate, and because these two chromatids they join together, okay, in this one cross, okay, with the centromere, so that's why they are called sister chromatids, okay, to make up one chromosome here, okay. So the chromatin, okay, or the DNA with the protein, okay, and then coil up tightly to form chromosome, okay. So for this part, remember the whole cross, okay, is also the chromosome. But what is the difference? Because this is the duplicated chromosome, okay. This chromosome not yet duplicated, okay, early stage of interphase, later stage of interphase, because the cell is going to divide, okay. So the DNA will be replicated and the chromosome will be duplicated, okay. So chromosome and chromatate, remember the relationship or the difference, okay. And after that, okay, we need to talk about the cells, the type of cells, okay. One type is somatic cells, that means the body cell, muscle cell, okay, blood cell, okay, teeth cell, something like that, nerve cell, okay. And for the reproductive cells, okay, or germ cells, or we call it gamete, okay, the which are the sperm cells and egg cells, okay, for reproduction. So for these two types of cell, because, okay, why do we need to understand them? Because for the mitotic cell division and for the meiotic cell division, okay, the daughter cells produced, they are different, okay. So some type, okay, are for the mitotic cell division, okay, somatic cells, okay, somatic cells, the body cells, okay, are produced by the mitotic cell division, and for the gamete cells, they are produced by the meiotic cell division. So that's why you need to distinguish between mitotic cell division and meiotic cell division. So after that, we need to talk about the diploid and haploid, okay, 2 sets and 1 set. So remember the metaphor. The metaphor is that a pair of shoes, okay. So for example, your father gives you 1 shoe, okay, and your mother gives you the other shoe. So and then you have 1 pair, okay. So in this case, if your father only gives you the right shoes, okay, the right one, okay, so you only have 1 set of the shoes, okay, only 1 set, because you only have the right leg, okay. But if your mother also gives you the left shoes, okay, left, okay, so that's why now you have 2 shoes. That means a pair of shoes, okay. So the point is that mother and father give you two shoes respectively, okay, so 2 sets. But if your father only gives you the right one, okay, you only have 1 set. And if your mother only gives you the left one, okay, you only have 1 set as well. So 1n plus 1n become 2n, okay. That's the metaphor of diploid and haploid, okay. So, and these 2 words, okay, they are used to describe the chromosome number, okay, 1 set or 2 sets of chromosome. And after that, we need to talk about the nuclear division, okay, nuclear division, mitosis or meiosis, okay. And before that, okay, we also need to talk about the interface, okay, about how can the cell prepare for the nuclear division, okay. So for the interface, DNA replicate and chromosome are not visible, so you can see that because they are chromosome, they are very diffuse, okay, they did not yet condense to become very short and thick structure, okay, until the prophase, okay. So you can see that prophase, chromosomes shorten and thicken, they become visible, okay. So you can see that for prophase, okay, we can see chromosome, okay. So and then metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. So for each phases, okay, remember you need to know the behavior of the chromosome, okay. What we so-called the behavior, for example, how can they line up? Line up in the middle of the cell, or line up in the equator of the cells, okay. Or the spindle fiber, how can they attach to the chromosome, okay. And for the anaphase, the behavior is that the chromatase, they are separate, okay. They are moved, they are pulled to the opposite pole of the cell, opposite pole, not just move away from each other, okay. They move to the opposite pole, okay. And then telophase, because the chromosome or the chromatase, they are separated, okay, and then they have a new nuclear membrane to surround the nucleus, the chromosome, something like that, okay. So prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, okay, for the mitosis, the nuclear division. And after that, okay, we need to divide, okay, we need to separate the cytoplasm as well. So that's the process of cytoplasmic division, okay. And I do not talk about it, okay, because you can refer to the book. So this part I only focus on the mitosis, okay, the nuclear division, okay. So the next part is the meiosis, okay, interface, also the preparation for the nuclear division. And then for the meiosis, okay, actually for the mitotic cell division, okay, mitotic cell division, we have 2 rounds, okay. So the first round is the first meiotic cell division, so that's why we have prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1, and telophase 1. So remember, for the first meiotic cell division, the significant process, the significant behavior of the homologous chromosome is they pair up, pairing and separation of homologous chromosome, okay. So that's the very important behavior. Okay, so prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1, and telophase 1. And after that, okay, we are going to the second meiotic cell division. So then we have prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, and telophase 2. Now, for all these pictures, for all the chromosome behavior, okay, you need to be very, very careful, because in the question, okay, you will be given this type of pictures, okay, or this one, maybe the drawing one or the micrograph, okay, the real one, okay. So the point is that you need to specify, okay, you need to recall the behavior of the chromosome to determine which specific stages, okay, is shown in the diagram, okay. Oh, this part, okay, or metaphase 2, or for the next part, or maybe for the anaphase 2, something like that, okay. So remember, the pictures, they tell you many information, very important information. So let's start for the MC question. For the MC question 1, okay, it's about the number of chromosome, okay, in human cell. So you may ask, oh, Mr. Leung, do we need to memorize all the chromosome number of all organisms? Okay, so for example, for the mosquito, for the cat, for the dog, for the chimpanzee, something like that, do we need to memorize all the number of the chromosome of these organisms? Actually, no. Okay, because, okay, if the question asks you something about the chimpanzee, something about the dogs, the fish, okay, they will give you the chromosome number. Except human, you need to memorize, okay, the chromosome number. Okay, so for the diploid number of chromosome, 2 set, 46. For the haploid number of chromosome in human cell, okay, so 1 set, 23 chromosomes. Okay, this number, please remember it, okay, memorize it, okay, but don't tell me, no, Mr. Leung, I don't know what is the number of chromosome in human cell, so that's why I don't know how to do the question. Sorry, you need to know it, okay, you need to know it, you have to know it. So for this case, PQR, 3 types of cells, okay. So for the R, okay, a very special one. So because I would like you to point out the difference between the somatic cells and the gamete cell, because for the question you can see that there are sperm cells, Weber cell, and Weber cell, okay. Which is the gamete cells, okay. So sperm is the gamete, okay. Weber cell and the somatic cell, they are the Weber cell, they are the somatic cells, okay. And the next part is that any specialized cells with different number of chromosomes. For example, the mature Weber cell, they do not have nucleus. For what? Refer to chapter 8, okay. You can see that the Weber cell, they do not have nucleus because they have more spaces to contain the hemoglobin and then carry oxygen, right? Okay, so the point is that for the cell R, Weber cell, okay, they must be the answer. So the answer must be A or C, okay. B, sperm cell, wrong. Weber cell, also wrong, okay. So there are 1 hint for you. And for the second hint is that for the Q, okay, 46, 2 sets, so that must be the somatic cell but not the gamete cell, because the gamete, they must be the haploid, they must have haploid number of chromosome. So for the cell Q, they must be the somatic cell. So that's why the sperm cells, okay, they are wrong, okay. So that's why the option C is also wrong. So that's why for the question 1, you know the answer already, but I would like to show you that for the P, okay, P23, haploid number of chromosome, so it must be the gamete, it must be the sperm. So that's why for the option B and option C, okay, Weber cell and Weber cell, they are also wrong. Okay, so for the question 1, okay, the answer is very obvious, okay. So that's the first question. And after question 1, that's a question to remind you all. That's the one of the question in our worksheet. So the question, okay, will be like that. Okay, you will be asked, you will be given the brain cell of a monkey, maybe containing 42 chromosomes, and then you need to tell me that what is the number of chromosomes in the sperm cells, in the mature rubber cell, and the bone cells, something like that. So in this case, remember to cultivate the thinking process. Which type of cells? Somatic cells or gamete, diploid or haploid number of chromosome, to know, to think. So and then you will know that 21 or 0 and then 42. So after that, let's talk about question 2. For the question 2, in the question, very good, because it reminds you that it's about meiosis. So for the meiotic cell division or for the meiosis, one single parent cell and then 2 successive division, and then you will get 4 daughter cells. 1 to 2 and then 2 to 4. And meiosis, the nuclear division, and then haploid gametes are produced. That means 1n gamete, 1n chromosome number. So for the option A, B, C, D, I would like to recall the DNA content of the gametes, diploid or haploid, and then you know that it should be haploid. So, and also recall the concept of chromosome movement, or what we so-called behavior, the separation, of the chromosome during the nuclear division. That's the very key concept in this MC question 2. So for the option A, the gametes can undergo meiosis. So make sure that you know the cause and the effect. The gametes, they undergo meiotic cell division, or we can produce gametes by meiotic cell division. And for the option B, the chromatids of the chromosome separate in the first meiotic cell division, and for the option C, the second meiotic cell division resembles mitosis. They are very similar at the meaning. That means the second meiotic cell division are like the mitosis. Is it true? So for the B and C, because they also talk about the meiotic cell division, but one is talking about the first part, and the next the option C is talking about the second meiotic cell division. So I would like you to check the diagram, to check the pictures, to check the sequence, to check the chromosome behavior. So in meiotic cell division. And for the option D, half the gametes produced by a person contains chromosome from father, while the other half contain chromosome from his mother. So the point is that what is the DNA content of the chromosome in the gamete? It will give you some hints. About from father or from mother. So that's the question 2. So for the question 4, the picture is very important, because in this question it does not tell you which kind of cell division is talking about. It may be mitotic cell division, it may be meiotic cell division. And the key point is that according to the diagram, the homologous chromosome, they pair up and line up in the middle of the cell. That's what we can observe, from the diagram. So in this case, a certain stage of the cell division, I can tell you that that's the stage of metaphase. But I don't know what it should be, metaphase or metaphase 1 or metaphase 2. You tell me the answer. According to the graph, according to the diagram. So the homologous chromosome pair up and line up in the middle of the cell. Line up in the middle of the cells, that means it should be related to the metaphase, or metaphase 1 or metaphase 2. But the key point is the homologous chromosome pair up. So mitotic cell division or meiotic cell division, it will become a 50% question, half-half. Okay, so eliminate A and B or eliminate C and D first. So for the question 6, okay, that's a very good question because it tells you this cell division, okay, is producing the animal's egg cell. That means which type of cell? Or it should be gamete cells, right? The gamete, okay, or the germ cells for reproduction. So the point is that which type of cell division, okay, we need to perform to produce gametes, mitotic or meiotic? It must be meiotic, right? So option A must be wrong, okay, according to the daughter cell, okay, according to the daughter cell, the egg cell, they are gametes, so it must be produced by meiotic cell division. Oh, yeah, and then you will say that, Mr. Leung, and then B must be the answer. Okay, am I correct? Maybe or maybe not. Okay, because for the option B, okay, it specifies, okay, it's the first meiotic cell division. Okay, but for the diagram, okay, is it true for the first or the second meiotic cell division? I don't know. You tell me. Check the diagram in the book or in the previous slide. And for the option C, X and Y are the homologous chromosome. So in this case, please define the homologous chromosome first. Okay, so remember the concept is that your father gives you one chromosome, okay, and then your mother gives you another very similar chromosome, okay, so they are homologous chromosome. But the point is that for the X, for the Y, they are chromatid, okay, they are chromatid. So before they are separated, actually they join together, okay, by the centromere. So actually they should be the sister chromatid in one chromosome. Okay, so actually X and Y, they are not homologous chromosome. And for the option D, each chromosome, not each chromosome, each daughter cell will have 4 chromosomes. So, okay, the chromatid, okay, they are separate. They become chromosome, okay, they become chromosome. And then the cell will be separate, okay, the cell will be separate, okay, by the cell division, the cytoplasmic division. So the point is that each daughter cell, okay, let's count 1 chromosome, 2 chromosome, 3 chromosome, and 4 chromosome, okay. So how can we count the number of chromosomes in the cell? Okay, so now you will have the answer, maybe B or D. So tell me your answer in question 6. And the last one, the question 8, okay, this graph, okay, you see it in the worksheet before, okay, that's describe the amount of DNA in the cell, okay, along the time. So in this case, for this part, okay, for the time 1, okay, the DNA, the amount of DNA doubles, okay, 2 to 4, okay, it refers to the process of DNA replication, okay. That means in these stages, okay, in this stage, the cell is preparing for the cell division because the DNA will be replicated and then the DNA amount doubles for the nuclear division, okay. And for the blue part, okay, the T2 part, okay, you can see that the amount of DNA remains unchanged, okay. After duplication, the cell is going to divide itself, okay. After the first part, okay, it should be the interphase, okay. So now we need to move on, maybe the prophase, metaphase, anaphase, or telophase. So the point is that for the T2, which phase, okay, is happening in T2, okay. And for the T3, okay, for the T3, you can see that the amount of DNA decreases by half from 4 to 2, okay. So the point is that point out which phase of the nuclear division, okay, happening in T3. And I can tell you the answer is that T3, okay, it should be the anaphase. The anaphase is that the chromosome or the chromatid, okay, I will not tell you the chromosome or the chromatid, they are separate to the opposite pole of the cell. So in this case, that's why the DNA amount, okay, decreased by half, okay. So after that, for the T4, okay, after the anaphase, it should be the telophase and then the interphase, right? Okay. So in this case, what is happening here? So according to the graph, I just can tell you the amount of DNA remains unchanged, okay, only also 2 units, okay. So what is the phase, okay? Point out which phase of the nuclear division or the whole cell cycle, okay, in T4, and then you will know the answer of question 8, okay. So let's take a look for the 4 options in question 8. Option A, during T1, nuclear membrane disappears, okay. So T1, which phases, okay, which phase is it? Interphase, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, okay. So you need to recall what is happening in these phases, and then you will be able to pick up the correct answer. And for the option B, during T2, okay, the homologous chromosome pair up. In this case, remember that this diagram, this graph, okay, is just talking about the cell division. But which type of cell division, it doesn't tell you. So you need to find out yourself, okay. So for the mother cell, the original DNA amount 2. And after that, okay, after the cell division, okay, the DNA content of the daughter cells is also 2. That means the DNA content of the daughter cell and the mother cell, they are identical. They are genetically identical. So refer to the concept of mitotic cell division or meiotic cell division, okay. You will be able to tell me, okay, in this diagram, okay, which type of cell division is talking about. So for the option B, homologous chromosome pair up, refer to the question before. You will see that homologous chromosome pair up is a very significant step in meiosis. Okay. And then for the C, the homologous chromosome separates, okay. This step is also very significant for meiosis, okay, for meiosis. So that's a very important hint for you guys, okay. So I also suggest you checking the books, checking the diagrams in the textbook or in the previous slide. And then for D, T4, okay. So in this part, the cell is synthesizing the cell organelles, okay, for the next cell cycle, okay. So that's the question 8. And for the last part, I would like to tell you to remind you the 4 major stages of the cell division, the cell cycle, especially the prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. These 4 major stages, the nuclear stage, the nuclear division. Remember, the Professor X met Anna on telephone. Okay, what is happening in these 4 nuclear, the 4 stages in the nuclear division, and then after that, the cytoplasmic division will happen to separate the cell membrane, to separate the cytoplasm, okay, to make the cell separated in maybe 1 to 2 and then 2 to 4. Okay, so remember, try to memorize it. Okay, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase in the correct order. Okay, so that's the end of this video clip for the MC question and for the basic concept of the cell cycle and the cell division.